am Jaws Blake. Don't look at this. I am Jaws Blake, your painter, as you well know. This is the painter's break. Wow, that really threw some stuff off. Um, Hi. Let's start that again. Hi, I'm Jaws Blake, as you well know. Welcome to the painter's breakfast. Shit. Um, that's really funny. Hey, what's up? How's it going? Phew, I'm so tired. I'm just tired. Um, this Saturday is gonna be February 1st, so we've got some big things coming up. Actually, it's I feel like it's Lunar New Year. It's something. I know it's something. Some New Year. So, hi. How are you? I'm well. Yeah, I don't know. So I made this last night. This is insane. I know. You have to get real close so you can actually see it. But I kind of like that, where maybe I'll make this into an actual print though. You know what I mean? Like this could be kind of a fun idea where like you see all the things when you get close to it, but when you're far away at the wrong angle, it looks blank. Like that's kind of exciting. I don't know how I'll make that the case when I scan it, but why not? You know, why not? I wanted to do some type of cassette tape thing, like I have done every year for many years now, of kind of like a my 3-on-3, if you will, of my favorite music of the year so far. And it doesn't have to be like of all time. It doesn't have to be even this month. It has to be just like recently. What are my favorite musics to listen to and enjoy? I don't know why I said it that way. What's your favorite cuisine? Ooh. My favorite cuisine is probably Indian food, honestly. I mean, I'm West Indian. I grew up eating it. So, eating it, making it, and doing all these things. Second would probably be Latin food. Uh, Depending on where you are in the world. Hey, how's it going? Depending on where you are in the world. Hello. Hello. Oh, Mustang Mike. What's up? Um, and it's interesting because like wherever you are, you you get like that country's version of the food. So like a lot of people don't know like the Caribbean is full of a lot of like Asian do birds live in your hair? Oof. We're starting hot? We're starting hot already? Jeez. Okay. No. No, birds don't live in my hair. I'll let the chat. I'm not even gonna go after you. The chat will get you. I'm not worried about it. I can't speak English, but I only speak Spanish. Bro, my bad. It's all good. I don't even care. It's fine. I think it's funny. I figure like the show hasn't really started until I get roasted at least once in the chat. I get the I don't want to ruin them so that if people come in and they say them, like then they still have them. Have you ever had Indian food? Have I ever had? Yes. There's a whole point that I was getting to. So the interesting thing about like the Caribbean is like you get Chinese food, but you get like Caribbean Chinese food. So like the ingredients are typically different because of the tropics and where they grow. So it's always kind of interesting how that goes. Do you wear zip hoodies? This is from that can't be right. I thought I said Daniel Garcia. I'm like that can't be right. I do. I do. I make them actually also. So there's that. If you go to the link for my online store, you can see I still have a few to sell actually. Hard plug. Um, yeah, but it's always interesting though. Like it's the oils you use are different, and then like how everything grows is very different. I ate Indian food once, and once was enough. Oh, that's so funny. I mean, it's not made for everybody. I gotta say, like, there's a lot of people who they are colonly challenged, and Indian food will clear that up oftentimes. It's all the herbs and stuff, man. A lot of people can't deal with it. Like my father-in-law is allergic to curry, so I don't cook it around him. But oh, here's your money shot, by the way. I know y'all like to see. I don't have any of my hoodies with me, man. Mr. Garcia, why do you, uh, why do you care so much about the hoodies? I mean, you feel how you feel, man. It's fine. I like my hoodies. I thought they were good. I literally don't have any more right now. Not none of my possession, anyways. I gave away my last one. Thank you. It's pretty good, actually. It's actually really good. I put some like chili flakes on the inside. Got a little heat. And then sazon for the eggs. A whole bunch of stuff. Um, so the story about the hoodies. So my wife and I were going to. It was like the middle of spring. It's kind of warm. I had my hoodie draped over my arm. It's a gray one with my logo on the back and the logo on the chest piece, a little small one. It was like one that was a gray one that had the crown on the back, and then on the front, I can't eat pizza. I like pizza a lot, but I can't eat pizza. I am diabetic, so it's not good for me. It's too much carbs. I really like pizza though, um, but I absolutely should not eat pizza. It's not. It's kind of dangerous. So this homeless man comes up to me, and he's very. You can see he's like he's wet and he's shivering and etc. And he asked me, he's like, "I'm really sorry. Can I have your hoodie?" And I go, "All right." So I take everything out of the pockets. I make sure, and then I give it to him. He puts it on, and he still looks like he's freezing, but it's something. So since then, I have not made myself a new hoodie, but I do still have quite a few. I've got a winter one that's thicker, and then I've got a thinner one that's like a spring fall one. That's more kind of like a t-shirt. I think those are in two colors. That's so nice of you. Thank you. I don't know. I thought about it in the moment, and I was like, he needs this, and I don't. You know, if I had been really cold, I probably wouldn't have given it to him. So I'm not completely a great person. Um, but I think I'm a nice guy. I mean, I probably would have given it to him to still then. Actually, I'd like to lie to you and go like, no, I'm a jerk. I'd never do those things. But like, I might. I worry sometimes that like in the process of wanting to pretend that I'm not a nice guy, that like I'm just lying. Like I was brought up to be a nice guy. I was brought up, I come from like a very like Zen background, and so it's important to me to like find balance and help people when they need it. It's not a lot. I mean, it's such a small thing to just kind of be kind to someone. If you have it and you don't need it, you know, you can give it away. I promise you, there's somebody else who does, who actually needs it. So, mm. Either way, I'm not trying to convince you to do any type of wild, crazy things or whatever, but if you feel the urge and you see someone in need, help them out. Doesn't have to be money. Doesn't have to be the shirt off your back. Doesn't have to be a hoodie. Doesn't have to be anything. Sometimes it's just a conversation. A simple, I hope you have a good day. Like that does a lot for people. As a painter and somebody who does murals on occasion, I'm around a lot of people constantly. I'm around a lot of homeless people. I'm around a lot of people on their way to places, bored people, old people, young people. And so you interact with people on a regular basis. You just interact with people. Mhm. So I think to like traverse this world, you kind of just have to be willing to try and get along with people. I'm gonna show you my cool mug, by the way, so I know you can see this. Don't spill any coffee up. There's an octopus in there. Show you the other side. There's an octopus in there. It's very difficult to clean this thing, by the way, but it is cool. And you definitely don't get as much coffee in here because the things in there. It takes up a certain. It's like a mass thing, you know. I don't know if you guys know much about mass. Um, it's like it's like filling water bottles and then trying to fill a bucket that has full water bottles in it. Like you don't need as much water to fill a bottle. I don't know why I'm explaining this. So yeah, man, it is a interesting week. I'm gonna try and get a bunch of shit done. Today, I have to go to the library, which is a block down the street. I'm gonna walk over, get a new library card because I moved and I lost my library card. And I typically don't always go to the library. I have like apps and stuff that I use to do a lot of stuff with audiobooks because I love to have like my head when I'm out and about walking. I like to have my headphones on and listen to whatever. I keep one out just so I can hear a car or something, but that worked. And when I'm painting, I'm doing all these things, I typically just kind of keep it going. And although I love music, it is important to me to kind of try and learn stuff every once in a while. I figure like my brain is probably happier for it. In some version, it's not as cold today as it has been. I'm trying not to have food fall out of my mouth while I talk to you. It's not as cold here in Maryland as it was a couple days ago. It's rather warm comparatively. I think it's only like 30 something. It's only like maybe 38, but it feels like it's like 60. So, um, yeah, I'm just trying to get out and walk and get some vitamin D. When you get around my age, you got to make sure you actually like get sunlight. You spend so much time being inside working, even entertaining yourself and hanging out inside, so you don't get to do those things. You act like you're 100. Not 100, but I'm I'm older than you think I probably am. There's no reason to guess. I'll just tell you. Actually, no. Roaster's choice. How old do you think I am? I'll let the chat have some fun real quick. You're 45. I am younger than that. Damn. No, I'm not 45. I'm not 100. I'm not 45. That's what. 45. Damn. That's rough. I am in my 40s, though. You're not far off. You're 35. You're kind. I am not. I am in my 40s. If that'll give you a closer aspect. Not 45. In my 40s. Younger than 45. There you go. So you only got like 4 wrong answers, basically. 3 wrong answers? 3 wrong answers, not 4. No. Only 44 to 40. So 3 months. Three. I don't know. Not enough coffee just yet. I was talking to my friend Amy last Saturday, and she was like, "I can tell you don't have any coffee in you just yet," because she's like, "You're just like you're quick. You're normally really quick and kind of witty about stuff, and you're like, that guy, that thing, he's from that place." Uh, uh. She's like, "Now I can tell you're older than me." And I'm like, "I mean, I'm like 20 years older than you, but okay." Born in 1984, right here. I'll be 41 this year. Way to go, Dustin. Nice. Commend you. I am 42. I'm going to be 43 in 2 months. Balloons. That's the weirdest thing. That's so strange. So I know it didn't pop up in. I know it didn't pop up on the. On. That's so weird. I know it didn't pop up on the YouTube, but it did pop up on the Instagram. So when I was like, "I'll be 42, I'll be 43 in 2 months," ooh, birthday balloons came up, and I'm like, "That's the like the augmented reality thing." It was the weirdest thing ever. 82, baby. Yes, yes. That's what we do. I keep trying to figure out what I want to do for my birthday. You know what I mean? Like, it's a ways away, and I have quite a few birthdays of family coming up before my birthday, so there's not really up to that. Diesel Dog, what's going on, man? On the Insta, hey. Um, but I want to think up something that I should do though for my birthday. You know what I mean? Like, what do I do? Where do I go? Which direction does the world flow? You know, it's an interesting concept. I'm trying to figure it out. I am not so much going to consider thinking about it more than probably what I just said. Um, Also, side note for those who missed, I did a painting last night, and I feel pretty good about it. It's got you got to see it from like the right angle. It's a cassette tape. Ba bam, ba bam. I'm thinking I might make it into a print. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Most of what I need to do is today, like I said, go to the library so I can get a permanent card. Because right now I have a temporary card to rent, so that I can rent audiobooks online. And to you. And you. I just really like audiobooks. I don't know what it is. It's been something that I can like I really enjoy reading, but when I read a lot of times I feel like I need to stop reading and then physically make something. So audiobooks seem like the best possible solution to that where I could continue to read and still make things. So it's made me happy for a while now that I am in the midst of doing these things. I remember the first time I saw pumpernickel bread, I thought it was like cinnamon bread. I was very disappointed. Not the same thing. Though I think this is like a pumpernickel rye, so it's like a swirl of both. I'm not really sure how that works, but I figure it's fun. So I know those people who got super into baking. What's up, fruitcake? I don't know. What's up with you? Uh, Popsicle. There you go. See, we can both have fun nicknames. There you go. Boom, roasted. No. Eating food, chatting about life, thinking about the next kind of art thing that I do. I made this really cool shirt I wonder if I can find it. Alec did laundry a couple days ago, and I always lose this shirt, and then I find this shirt. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I made a shirt. I probably won't be able to. Hold said thought. There's a lot of clothes. So, give me a second to figure it out. I don't think I'm gonna find it. Nope. Not on the stream. Oh well. If you go to my website, like I said, it's in the link. You can see all the weird stuff I make. That's merch wise. I saw this lady today who she made handmade ceramic pieces and then made a plushie. And she had like 5,000 orders that went out. Sold completely out of stock type of thing. And I was like, oh man, that must be so cool. To like focus on like one art project at a time, and then to just see it just flourish and go out into the world. You know what I mean? Like, that's just nuts. I'm the type of painter who does like, has like 6 projects going on at once. And it's partially because of probably ADHD, but also like there's just points where I'm waiting for paint to dry and I'm unhappy waiting. So I'll start something new. And they're not all paintings. Some are drawings, some are stories, some are filming things. It just kind of depends, honestly. I think I got into photography again because you're ADHD. You're probably. I got into photography and filming because I had to present my artwork in some way. So this is kind of how it started going. Like, you would just buy all types of things. Good morning from Australia. How are you? I'm really good. How are you? What time is it in Australia right now? I'm thinking it'd be like nighttime in Australia. Maybe. I might be wrong. I know in Brazil it's the same time right now. Well, parts of Brazil. I was. Oh, side note, it's 3 a.m. Tuesday here. Oh man. Well, hang out with us till we bore you to sleep, or slowly lull you into some type of out coldness. What was I saying? I'm everywhere with this. So I would have like 5 or 6 different projects going on at once. So I was kind of waiting for one thing to dry and then one thing to kind of be looked at via some type of competition or rendering that was making the computer's much slower. And so you're waiting and stuff's pixelating and going like that. And then you would just kind of just do everything. I had multiple easels. I don't know if you've ever seen like artists who have like multiple canvases on the wall and they go by. It's like really old artists. They go by and they like make a line, and they make a stroke, and then they make another line, and they move on to the next one, and they just kind of go and they do and that. And then there's like a chair. And you're sitting in an empty room. This is really kind of my dream, I guess. Sitting in an empty room and you're just looking at them while you're waiting for them to dry for the next idea to just hit you. Like, that is my brain constantly. I am a multitude of crazy artistry. What is your favorite paint to use? I like Winsor Newton or Arteza. I'll show you. So these are my 2 favorite companies. So this is Arteza. News was so. I asked a question in my bed. No, it's not a bad one. And then Windsor and Newton. I like the old metal ones more than I like the plastic feeling ones. For those who paint, you'll know the difference. Like there's the plastic tubes, and then there's the metal tubes. The metal tubes are typically referred to as professional paints, as opposed to like student paints. Um, Pro tip: if you want your paints to look more professional when you do stuff, you have to figure out how to thicken them because that's kind of the big thing, how they stretch. The metal tends to last forever. Sometimes. I mean, I've definitely got quite a lot of paint. Like I've got hundreds of tubes of paint at this point. They do go bad though. They do go bad. Do I have art you can see? Yeah. I mean, I've got the last one I did last night. This is just something I'm thinking about doing a print for. Something small. I'm doing a show possibly this February. So I did a big cassette tape. I'm going to do a kind of a mix on that one. If you want to see what I actually do, I can grab some. Let me see. I have so many paintings in this place that. So when I used to do a bunch of, I did a pinup book a couple years ago. I don't really do pinups as much anymore, but kind of this style. When you look at my paintings, I mean, a closer version of my paintings would be. I just did this one on the live stream a couple days ago. So this is more kind of what I do nowadays. Thank you. I like it. I've been a painter for a long time. I've kind of my mother likes to joke that I had a pencil and a scratch piece of paper in my hands as soon as I could sit my head straight up. And it's been true, honestly. I've just been kind of making art almost pretty much my whole life. I took a little break when I was in college, which was funny because I went to school. I went to art school, but I burned out. I mean, I burned out when I was in college. There were so many demands of what people wanted that I didn't feel were what I wanted to make. And although I made what they wanted me to make, it still kind of dragged me down quite a bit. So it is what it is. By the way, thank you so much for getting us past 380, by the way, of subscribers. Like, that's so cool. Thank you so much. Right now we're at 385, so that's cool. So like I said, maybe at the end of the year we might get up to 400. That'd be really fun, you know? Let me see. I think it's funny people judge art, but it's meant to be a personal thing, right? It honestly is. I mean, I always tell young artists who try to study under me, apprentice under me, your art style is when you draw something or paint something and you're happy, you're fine with it. It doesn't bother you. You're not like, I gotta erase this whole thing. I gotta change all this. I gotta do all these other things. Like that's you're still working on your style when you're critiquing your own work and you're like, I need it to look more like this. It's not here to here type of aspect. Um, so yeah, no, I agree with you. I think most art stuff is just it's meant to be a bunch of ideas put into practical. Let me see. Art school in Detroit was really tough. Yeah, art school in at SCAD was kind of hard, honestly. It was. I met a bunch of artists that weren't like when I went to art school. I was already a grown up, so and I had already had like jobs and commissions, and I'd painted murals and all this stuff. So when I went, I was kind of shocked by like I had a very complete portfolio, and nobody else really had anything for the most part. Like they had done like some I don't want to say like kid stuff, but like comparatively, like I was an adult and they just like paid their first cell phone bill. So it was kind of one of those things where we were on two very different paths at the time. And so what was important to me artistically as opposed to what was important to them artistically was very different. They were still trying to follow like trends, and I already had a style. I wasn't trying to get better with my style. I was trying to learn a few new tricks and really just have like some type of certificate in my hands. Let me see. Oh, Frank James, are you still in school right now? Are you still in art school right now? I mean, just keep it going, man. If you are, keep it going. Let me see. Nimix Nimixa says that's who we've been talking to. I can draw stick figures, so art school isn't for me. But I did do dance for 15 years. I mean, that's cool. Frank James said he graduated in '98. Nice. Cheers to that. Yeah, I mean, I think with a lot of us old artists, it's difficult not to be cynical because like there's the whole AI thing that's going on. That's you don't want me to start on that. And then there's the other aspect of like the Warhol approach, I guess, where you've got a lot of people. You had a lot of people that were taking other people's stuff and then screen printing it. Making copies and then screen printing. It's not honestly too different than kind of what AI does now, where you take something and then you reuse it. But like we kind of hated on them too, so it's kind of weird. Do you use digital or do you prefer to just do canvases? I use digital for my channel art, so I use Procreate, and then I'll draw out like icons and imagery and maybe like a banner or a header type of thing. If I'm doing stickers, I'll do. I've been known to do stuff for those. I'll show you. They're not great. I'm not gonna lie to you. They're fun, but they're not great. So this is one of my stickers. It goes out with all my orders. It's very silly. And then my other sticker that goes out with orders. And occasionally they end up in the streets. So there's that. I realize in retrospect I should have one of my own stickers right here, since that's what you see, as opposed to like this thing, whatever this is. But meh. Not gonna worry about it. Did you come up with your tattoos? Again, sorry, ask a lot of questions. I'm blaming the Red Bull and the fact that your channel is fun. Well, thank you. And there's nothing. I personally like questions anyway, so that's more than cool. You don't ever need to apologize. Um, I've been tattooed since I was 18. So I think I got my first tattoo in like 1999, and I've been kind of going since then. I've got a lot of tattoos. I'm still planning on getting more. I want to get my hand done. I do find it funny though how people are just like, they're like, oh, you got to think about getting jobs and doing this stuff, and I was like, yeah, I'm like 40. I'm about to be 43. I've been a mechanic most of my life, and a professional painter. I'm not really. It's not really a concern for me. I don't recommend someone who's like 18 to be covered in tattoos because you don't know what you want to do yet. I would say my policy has always been with tattoos is I would never want to work for someone who would discriminate against someone for having tattoos. So I don't feel bad about the ideas. Well, you might lose opportunities, and it's like, well, I'm an adult and I have bills, and I pay my mortgage. I do all these things, so I'm doing okay. I don't know what to tell you. No one's ever not bought a painting from me because I had tattoos. So let me see. Oh, Rucka, sup from New Zealand, bro. Have a blessed day, brother. Thank you very much, man. Much appreciated. I really want to go to New Zealand at some point in time. I want to do an art show in New Zealand. I want to do this big world tour art show. We went to the Hirshhorn in DC. It's this big lifesaver shaped museum. in DC, and we saw Ozimos. Ozimos is this twin brother graffiti fine arts explosion, and they are incredible. I've been watching them and following them for over a decade. And it's O S. I'll spell it. I'll put it in the chat just so you see. Ozimos. Eventually, my slow computer will type it up for you. I think that's right. That's about right. Osimos. How do you spell it? It's like Osgimos. It's I think that's how it's spelled. I put it in there. Osgimos. It's Zimos. It's pronounced Zimos, but it's Gimos. For those who don't speak Portuguese. Um. So yes, brother, we love art here in Australia too. Good stuff. Thank you so much. Yes, go go to NZ. They come. Then come to Australia. We shall keep you safe from all the animals. I know, man. You guys got like. See, America has this weird thing. Like America and really kind of like the entire two continents of Latin America and Central America, North like three, and North America. We've all been told that Australia has like every single possible thing is poisonous in Australia, which I know is not possibly true. It is an intense country though. It's an intense continent. I gotta be honest. Like it's intense, but I mean, I assume when you look at the news about this place, about DC, it doesn't sound tame or safe either. So there is that. So can't throw stones, so to speak. Like we don't have poisonous snakes everywhere, but we have crazy people with pew pews, as they say, as the young people say. So, yeah. New Zealand is so lovely, and the people are so beautiful. In Australia, depending on where you're going, but the animals are spread out. So if you go northern Australia, you'll meet a lot of the animals. That's cool. That's cool. You guys are in summer now, I believe. Yeah. My buddy just went back. A friend of mine lives on the southern hemisphere in Chile, and they're in their summer, right? Or no, they're about to start fall, I guess. No. Yeah, they're in the summer right now. I'm having to think. I'm like, what's the antithesis of these things? So it's interesting to see how it all kind of. The world is very like complex and like not complex, but not complex at the same time with how it works. And I've always thought that to be really interesting in a lot of ways. Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do the rest of the day. I will show you some. Since you guys want to see some work, I'll show you some old work I used to do. Let me see. Which books are we gonna go with? 1, 2, or 3? You decide. Which book do you want me to show you today? 1, 2, or 3? I promise I won't move them. They're exactly the way they are. Which one do you want to see? 3? Alright. 3 it is. So... Yep, it's like living on the sun. Yeah, that's how Brazil was. Brazil was like that. Alright, so... This is in my days when I was using a lot more fine liner pens. So I had all these ideas on what I wanted to do. I was kind of looking at those photography pieces where people have like a toolbox basically spread out in a big rectangle. They have everything kind of going, and I thought about like how I could do that and what I could do with that. I thought at one point in time I was gonna maybe make them into like a shirt design or something, or even even maybe just some stickers. So I thought it'd be fun. A lot of the stuff I make, I'll be completely honest with you, I really just make so that I can use it. and then other people buy it sometimes, and that's nice. Like the shirts and stuff, the shirts and the it's like the shirts and then the stickers and the hoodies and all that stuff. Like other people bought them, but I definitely just kind of really kind of did them for myself for a long time. And then like the fan base came. I think that's kind of the ultimate art lesson I can teach anybody is make your art on something that you really like. Yes, Adventure Time. I I've gotten like this weird case of like making of having fun with just kind of Adventure Time stuff. You sell them as for flash tattoo shops? No, I mean I could. I know a lot. I'm one of my best friends actually owns a tattoo shop, so I probably could do that if he would allow me to. Um, but no, just for me. Or make them into like posters. Sometimes it's just fun to have like posters. People love like posters and stuff. My buddy has been a long-term tattoo artist for a long time, who lives in North Carolina. Different guy, Wiley. Shout out. And occasionally he will send me cool stuff because he's a great guy. Love that man. Love that man. He's amazing. Let me see. Like all Afro Latinos, I grew up watching Lucha Libre. Um, so a bunch of short, kind of roundish men rolling around, greased up on a mat with masks on. It's as silly as it sounds, and it might even be a little erotic. I'm not really sure, but mostly it's just fun. And I don't know. I like these things. So my favorite mug is this one my wife bought me years ago, and this was a sticker that came with it. So I had this. So back in art school, they had these like old English style painted mugs of women who were painters, and so I bought one, and then one day, 30 years later, 20, no, it's not 30, 20 years later, it cracked in half in our dishwasher. And so my wife then got me a new one because I was so sad about it. Because like I'd love that mug. It was one of my favorite mugs of all time. And yeah, it's just a nice little. I like the way it works. It looks good. It's sweet. She's very good about getting me things that mean a lot to me, which is always kind of fun. So I did this one actually as a commission. It was a huge painting for my niece, actually, and I guess my great nephew, I guess would be, because her son, Carter, very cool guy. He just a nice guy. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Also going to say Vampiro was the best. Vampiro was easily the best. What are you talking about? Of course Vampiro was the best. I mean he was a messy wrestler, but he's by far my favorite gimmick of all wrestlers. It was like Vampiro and like Penta and Phoenix and Cibernetico. Used to love those guys growing up. And I just watched Carlos Colon. There's so many like random weird ones I did in this book that don't make any sense. I watched Godzilla vs Kong and I couldn't stop thinking about it, so I had to draw something out about it. Let me see. Oh my god, we just became best friends. Someone else who loves him. We are best friends now. This is true. This is true. I was trying to get into like figuring out how to do digital animation, and I'm still kind of working on it. I'm still not great at it, but I was planning on doing like these kind of cells that move around. So occasionally, very rare occasions, but occasionally I plan out what stuff's gonna look like in my paintings. So like these designs and whatnot, and that becomes kind of a part of it. I don't really do that as much anymore, but I used to do it all the time. So there are these Japanese black ladybugs that have been around for a while now, and it was always kind of interesting how I would see them in the studio just for no reason. It could be winter and I'd see them in the studio. And of course, the cats are going crazy because they're trying to chase these things down. And it was just kind of one of those things where, since they were everywhere and I kept seeing them all the time, which is never a fun experience to have something randomly in the middle of the night. Australia, you understand this. Fly around your head in the middle of the night while you're in the middle of kind of painting things and doing stuff. So it was one of those aspects. Oh, by the way, yes, before anyone asks, yes, this is one of my many crazy designs I did back in the day. It is exactly what you think it is. Yes. And occasionally I like write stuff in them too. I mean, let me see. This one says the hardest part. I have no idea what this says. I may regret reading this out loud. The hardest part of these ideas is running off to make them real. People feel abandoned by others' creativity. They love to see you in the places you are stuck in with them. I don't think I came up with that. I think someone said it and I wrote it down because it felt kind of true in a lot of ways. Check out that. I'm working on, because I have so many projects going on. I'm working on. Thank you. You think I draw really well? Thank you very much. The Xmas beetles are worse. I have no doubt that I don't know what that is, but that sounds terrifying. I assume it has razor blades for arms and drips poison from its mouth and lands on your face in the sleep and tries to burrow its way into your brain. Because Australia seems very intense with its insect population. It's 4 a.m. I should go to sleep, but I subscribed, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Sending love and support to you and your family. Thank you for awesome chat. You have a ton of skill. Thank you so much. I hope to see you again. And thank you for subscribing. Yeah, by the way, subscribe to the channel. If you like watching me, you should subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already. Hit like. Like I said, we just have conversations a lot of times. And I do live painting shows, as well as a painter's breakfast every Monday, as well as at least one art video on Tuesdays every week. And then I do a bunch of little shorts that are kind of, me getting around and doing stuff. They're interesting. I think you'd like them. Let's see, a couple more masks. I was really on a mask tick at this point. Like, I don't really do as much lucha libre stuff as I used to back in the day, but I do them sometimes. Can you draw me a bath? Steve, I'm gonna probably say, how much money you got? How much money are you gonna put into this proposal, my friend? Do you want me to draw you like one of my French girls? Like, how much money you want to talk right now? Money talks, Let me see. 7 Bitcoin. I don't really take imaginary money, so I'm gonna have to decline that. I know that is a lot of possible money, but no, I don't do Bitcoin. Let me see. Everyone hit like and oh, thank you, Nimza. You're amazing. Let me see what else we got. I got really good with my line work after a certain point, but it's that confidence. Like I said, it's that you make a line and then you just kind of let it happen. You keep moving. Is kind of the main objective. Like, if you're somebody who, and like I said, some of these are ugly. Some of these are very ugly drawings, and I take no hurt in saying it. I take no anything else in saying it. I work on lots of different designs for the same thing to try and see if I had one image that was really something that represents the channel. In my art, it would probably be the crowns. It would probably be the crowns, honestly. I've got a lot of, I've got a lot of the gorilla skull ones, but the crowns have always been the main thing. So, is what I do. I was playing this game back in the day called Ooblets. It's where the luchador stickers came about. And I just did these freehand. I don't I don't typically look at references when I draw a lot of things. When I paint, I look at references just so that I make sure when I'm doing ink washes, excuse me, when I'm doing ink washes, that because I'm layering, that the shadowing comes in the way I want it to. We need an example. I can't just say something and then not explain it. So here's a painting. So you see how you do kind of with that? These are different layers of gua, of like ink and paint and all that stuff. So what you do when you're doing it is you have to kind of figure out how to layer and the process in which to paint the things you paint, you know? So for those things, I use references. Sometimes it's like my hand with a light on it so that I see where the light's coming from. Sometimes it's an object and I'm copying how the light kind of comes off of certain parts. And that gives me the ability a lot of times to kind of work on my process. Because although I have been painting for over 40 years, I still have a process of learning new artist kind of tricks and traps and whatnot. So you have to kind of, I don't know, you have to keep working at it. Like it's, no one I know has ever done anything the first try and that's been it, you know? It's just not that type of situation. Alright, I like these. So we'll end with, alright, so we'll do these. So like these ones. And of these ones. And the last page. So we can end on a lackluster note. These ones. I always wanted to make my own world, you know? I saw movies like Cool World and I was a big comic books guy and I liked video games and stuff like that as a kid, like everybody. And it just made sense to me to try and make my own stuff. So that's what I've been doing this whole time. Just a world of strange little artistic things. And, you know, from those I've been inspired by Picasso, Basquiat, Macbeth, Tara McAfee. I almost said Leonardo DiCaprio. That's not right. Da Vinci. There's a lot of interesting artists who, contemporary and like ones from history, that have really kind of shaped a lot of the art that I've been doing for so long. So, yeah, it's like a ever evolving, constant thing. And you just have to remember to just keep making stuff. Always be making. Always making is what I always say. Yeah, so this is the end of the show. I don't have anything else to say. I've kind of yammered on for a bit. I'm out of coffee. I'm out of food. Octopus. All right. So, Gladys, have a good one. Love you much. Thank you. Thank you so. And I will see you again next week for this show. And like I said, have a great day. And like I said, subscribe to the channel. There's lots of cool stuff. There's lots of art stuff. There's lots of, I've got over 1,000 art videos on this channel because I've been doing it for like 13 years. Before YouTube was even invented, I was posting videos. No, there's a lot of stuff. So, I hope to see you around. Bye. Figure out. Ciao. There. I've got to hold this pose because I've got all these other channels going on.